Hi everybody, my name is Kate Anderson and I'm going to be reviewing one of the best weight loss books or guides I've personally ever seen. Before I do that though, I gotta let y'all know this is not paid. I know that's something that a lot of people worry about, especially nowadays with advertisements, and there's so many things you could do on the internet. But this is not paid. I decided to make this because I feel like it's a book that everyone who wants to lose weight should read, just because it definitely would have saved me time. I've been on my keto diet for about a year now, still learning some things, but if I had read this book in the beginning, I feel like it would have saved me a lot of time, like I mentioned before, and everyone knows time is always something that you should try to not waste. I do have to mention that the packaging is very interesting, so you have something appealing to look at while you take your journey on losing weight in a healthy manner. And it is available on Amazon, but the author himself is given for free on his website, along with some useful tools that will definitely help you out in continuing your keto journey. So those who want to get it, I'm going to show you the cover right now. Give me 1 second and I'm going to flip the camera around to show you. That'll be the cover that you'll be looking for. And it is, like I said, My Dirty Keto. Definitely recommend it. And yeah, go ahead and get yourself that book. I've only read about 3 other books that have to do with keto. And they're all great. They're not necessarily terrible, but I don't think any of them come close to My Dirty Keto, which is the name of the book. This book really reveals that the way a lot of people try to eat, which is how I started off and now I know it's not right, is low fat and high carbs, and it's not the healthiest thing to do. So, you definitely don't want to do that, because there's the right way to lose weight and there's the wrong way to lose weight. So definitely want to do the right way, where it's the healthiest thing to do, or the healthiest way to do it. This book lets you know about the harmful, heavy processed carbohydrates that are truly not good at all, and that a keto diet would be not only good to lose, for helping you lose the weight or the weight you personally want, but it's also overall great for your health, which is something that is definitely a bonus, a really great bonus, I think, if you're trying to lose weight. And I started reading about keto because I wanted to try it. I've heard that it, again, is a healthy way to do things as long as you do it correctly. And so far, this book is the best one I found for beginners, because, again, I'm still technically a beginner. I've only been in it in about a year. And it gives you the basics of what you need to start the keto diet. And it's given to you in a way that's very easy to understand, so you don't have to worry about being confused or maybe doing the wrong thing because you misunderstood. And it's straight to the point, so you don't have to worry about prolonged paragraphs or certain things that just don't really have anything to do with what you need to do. So you know how to do it when you want to start doing something. There's always a lot of information, and unlike some articles that you read or find online, they only give you bits and pieces of information. This actually gives you the whole thing, so you don't have to worry about that, which I think is great, because you don't want to have to constantly go to different articles. And the author took all this information that you would find, that you would want to know, summarized it, and packaged it in a very easy to read, accessible form, so you don't have to be constantly Googling for all the information you need. And all the information that the author gathered and everything that he researched, it resulted in a great book. It teaches you how to start and what to expect, combined with some of the author's own experience, who actually also has gone on a keto diet, which it's going to be good because they going through the same thing. The way it is presented is the best thing about this book, honestly, because It's a very easy format. There's all the information is there, and that's honestly the best thing. And because having a vague idea or like a theory of how it works, but not how to apply it to you, it could cause you to fail the diet, and that isn't your end goal. As I mentioned before, this book does a great job of simplifying the information and helping you adapt to the diet, to your body and your specific needs, because everyone is different. Everyone has their own way of doing things. It covers everything you need to know about how to prepare for the upcoming change in your life, so you don't feel like you're going in there cold turkey. That's never fun, especially when you're used to doing something so very different. And it covers the basic biology behind the keto diet. The author helps you accomplish finding your specific plan or what's good for you without you having to count the calories or macros. It gives you a plan to learn about how the keto diet is not as disruptive as it might seem. And he talks about implementing all this knowledge in a sustainable way, or in a way that doesn't take up too much of your time, or in his case, author himself has said, so it doesn't take up too much of his own time. And focusing on your diet all the time is not necessarily something that it could suck the fun out of life. We all have families, we have jobs, hobbies, business, and like just everyday things that are can lead to so much more stress. So having to add that plus worrying about your diet, it could be too much, and this helps you not have to do that, at least. As for the author, he's gone through the same thing, so it's not someone who just is only researching it, and like that is fine too, but they don't experience it, so they couldn't really know until you personally experience it. So his story, Tim's story, really speaks to me on a personal level. I think it, that he's gone through the same thing, so, which makes it really relatable. And I've also worked long hours in an office, and I know how tiring that can be, especially it can be draining. It's might not be the thing you want to do forever. I know how tiring that can be, and then I see how other authors deal with it, and they usually just implement simple, very practical diet changes, which is really awesome because it's simple and it's not something you have to constantly be worrying about. And before I give you a walkthrough of this book, again, I do want to say I wish I had this since the beginning. It really does start you off the way you should, that will help be most beneficial to you, which is again why I wish I had it. I'm starting off a little bit later than others on getting this information, but I have it now, and again, it's helped me a lot, and it lets me know, again, the basics. It lets me know about the amount of carbs I should be eating. And I personally, in the books that I've read, I haven't seen them recommend to use more carbs in your diet. They usually tell you to restrict everything, so you're kind of just like not eating, which isn't the healthiest way to lose weight. He does say extra carbs when necessary are totally fine while staying on the keto diet, and you have to listen to your body and just know that the cravings are there for a reason. It's a pretty controversial topic in the whole keto community in general, because everyone has their different ideas on it, but I think honestly that I'm on the author's side here, just because of how he explains it. It seems like it makes more sense. I'm sure that this book will get backlash for that reason, because there are going to be people that disagree, but like I said, I'm on the author's side, and I think it's worth something that you should really try, and just let people have their own opinions about it, as long as you're doing the healthiest thing you can do while being on the diet, which I think this book helps with. I think that you should really eat according to your lifestyle and your current body composure, just because everyone's body is different. Everyone has certain needs. There's certain foods that they kind of just need to function like a normal adult or a normal human being, and that's something unique to you that you really need to pay attention to, just to make sure you have the energy to do what you have to do. And you definitely should give yourself some freedom with that, like freedom in a sense of like, you know, you could eat a different amount of carbs every day and be flexible about it. This book kind of focuses on that, where the author says it's what makes this version of keto sustainable and great, because, you know, you are being very flexible while you're with your keto diet, while also being very conscious of your own body and like what it needs. You should definitely make macro counting sustainable. You should make prepping food sustainable. You should make shopping sustainable. Basically everything should be sustainable in the long term. Otherwise you'll quit on it, and like, then what was the point, you know? The author, my bad, Tim, gives some very quite extremely useful tips on how to achieve this, how to do this in the right way. And I haven't really seen anyone else give them. I am a beginner, but again, the books that I have read that weren't this one, I haven't seen that. For example, he tells us how to plan a meal without any recipes. He gives us a bunch of examples of foods to eat on keto and how to sustain traditional carb heavy foods with keto friendly ones. The last part of the book itself also focuses on busting keto myths. Thankfully in this book you can focus on saying what is true and what is not, such as the infamous keto flu. And keto is not only good for weight loss. After reading this book, I feel like I have a better idea of jumping into keto, even though I've been doing it for almost a year now, and even though I'm not necessarily new to keto, it has been a year, almost a year, yes. But having this book has given me a lot to learn, and new ways to look at keto, new tips to how to ease and streamline the whole like dieting process, just so that it's more good for me, and new ways to prepare food that again will help me in many different ways, keep me at the body composure I certainly feel confident in, which is again why I really like it. And overall it's a pretty fresh take on keto. It's a refreshing read for anyone, especially those that are just starting out with it. Definitely wish my younger self would have read it. But if you have been trying to get into keto or losing weight and you haven't had much success, I suggest trying using this book. This book might exactly be what you need, and I'm pretty sure I've said that a lot already. So if you want to take any actual words from the author, he also has a private blog where you can download the book for free, which is his website that I was talking about earlier, and some of the tools to help you on your journey, that's also on his blog, so you don't have to buy it off Amazon. So be sure to check it out, and I'll leave a link in the description. Thank you so much for listening to my story.